34-year-old guy tells you his story of sadness, depression, suicidality as he assembles furniture alone on a Friday night in his apartment, constructing a bedstand. Ever since I was a young child, I struggled with shyness, fear, insecurity, social awkwardness. The first day of 6th grade was the scariest day of my life because I was homeschooled 1st to 5th grade. And all throughout high school, I was still shy and nervous and weak. I always wanted to be strong. I always wanted to be like a superhero. I always wanted to be like Power Rangers. I dressed up like Power Rangers for Halloween as a child. And throughout high school, I got into Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, and I always wanted to be strong. But it was hard to be strong because when you feel shy and you don't make friends as easily, you naturally feel weak and lonely and powerless. I didn't have parental mentors, big brothers, coaches to help me. I was all alone. All I had was my cartoons, I had my Nintendo, and I had my anime inspiration. And then, when I was 16, I found more passion in Christianity and Jesus, and that saved me in many different ways from my own shyness, my own self-centeredness. And I got this passion because it started helping me feel less weak, I felt more expansive. I felt more whole. I would even just go around and smile. My motto was smile at people and hug people. And it worked. It was a good strategy. It started working. You know, building furniture is like Legos. We just have all these pieces, and I hope the instruction book is in here. This is a very big package. We have to finish this tonight. So I don't want to leave this out. And so, the philosophy of the Bible, given to me from my favorite Texas preacher, Andrew Womack, helped me understand my mental weaknesses and helped me pave a new path. And I got so inspired by it that I started believing things from the Bible, like you can heal people. And Jesus healed people, and he told his disciples to heal people. And he even said, anyone who believes in me can do these same things. And so I said, I can do this. So I went out into all the Walmarts, into the streets of Boca Raton, and I was praying for people for their miraculous supernatural healing, because God loves you. Now, surprisingly, I did get some good results. It was quite an adventure going around praying for people. It was a constant everyday struggle because I was still kind of shy, and this is not exactly the most normal thing for somebody to do, is go up to somebody and pray for something like this. But I found community. There was actually other people who do this. This world is a strange place, isn't it? And so I spent a year trying to be a preacher and a healer, and I got disappointed, and I fell into a state of doubt and confusion and questioning and lower emotions, which made me feel sick in a sense. And I was only 23. I just graduated college, and I was with my high school sweetheart for 6 years. And because I fell into this apathetic state of doubt, confusion about my future, confusion about my career, confusion about my beliefs and my worldview and my aspirations to be a missionary, so much confusion that everything seemed to fall apart. Me and my girlfriend broke up. my life began to crumble. I was working night shifts, and that was corrupting my health, destroying my health. And that was my first mental and physical health crisis. And you can see so easily how it happened. It was obviously a state of mental anguish and confusion in my emotions that were causing my physical illness. So how I felt was just extremely tired, unmotivated. I stopped going to the gym as much. I felt weak. And I just felt sad. It was bad. I started to see bags under my eyes, and I didn't understand how to get myself out of this funk because I didn't have any guidance. I was very lonely. I was just working this security night shift job, very lonely. And all my dreams were just wasting away. You know, I wanted to be a healer. I wanted to be a spiritual powerhouse. I wanted to be contributing to other people's health and well-being and their spiritual well-being. But unfortunately, I fell into this atheistic state, and my worst habit began to haunt me: pornography. I fell into this horrible habit once again. And it started to destroy my health, and I lingered there for a very long time until I realized I can't linger here because this realm that I'm in is just so miserable. It's so miserable that I woke up at 2:30 in the afternoon feeling like a zombie. Remember, I'm working night shifts, and I just realized I absolutely need to change. I need wisdom. I'm a complete fool. And I'm completely wasting away. And what happened from there was I started looking and I found wisdom. I found a way to start healing my mind, which healed my body. I found a way to escape the pornography and give myself purpose again and get myself back into a good job and taking care of my health again. And what I learned was the state of my mind was affecting my health significantly. I learned neuro-linguistic programming from Tony Robbins. And I started modifying my thoughts in my subconscious mind. And that helped with my emotional well-being, which in turn helped me quit my bad habits, get my health together, and start taking care of my physical health. You see, because what I saw was that my negative emotions were actually leading me to make bad health decisions and bad habits. So I had to understand how to change my habits. And in order to change my habits, I had to understand my subconscious mind and my emotions. Because many times our emotions are what cause us to go to these horrible physical habits. And so I had to understand how to heal all of that. Napoleon Hill also helped me, teaching me about autosuggestion and how to ingrain into myself a more confident mindset. And it began to work. It took some time. It took weeks and months, but the momentum started to build, and I carried that momentum forward. And even though I still was not a theist, I was believing in the principles again. And they were taking me back up into their graces. And my life felt like it was working again. Things were lining up for me. I started my own little solopreneurship. I was making decent money, and I started doing classical Indian Hatha yoga, which I also found was very good for my energy and very good for my mental health. I started forming positive cognitions and positive action and positive karma towards the world. And things started working again. I got so committed to the yoga that I actually ended up going to India and spending time in an ashram. I spent 3 months in Coimbatore, India for a yoga program led by Isha Foundation, a worldwide known yoga company. And man, was that an adventure. That was an amazing journey. And I really wanted to be a monk. I really wanted to see what it was like to just not only meditate and do yoga, but to be exposed to so many different people, so many different jobs. They had me working in the kitchen, out in the fields. And it was a dynamic environment. It was so different. It was so different. I was enjoying it, but there's something about the water and the food that it didn't go right with me. It just started to wither me down over the weeks and the months until I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to come home. I had a night where after eating a little morsel of food, I just felt dizzy, and I thought, I'm either getting enlightened right now or I'm getting really ill. And so I just went outside and sat next to the furnace, and I told my friend Jake, my best friend there, I really need the clinic. Call an ambulance. So, ambulance came, picked me up. They couldn't really diagnose what was going on. They just gave me antacids and sent me off. But I knew that I had some kind of bacteria. I thought maybe I even had some kind of stomach bug. And so I really struggled with it for about a week, and then I just threw in the towel and I had to come home. So this is my second health crisis that ever happened. Other than that, I was extremely healthy and on a good path. So I came home, and my mind was not really warped at all. I was just a little bit thrown off, a little bit jaded, a little bit disappointed. It was not the easiest process getting home. There's a little bit of conflict and friction and drama with some of the leaders over there. And so I said to myself when I got home, I'm just going to focus on me. Enough of this yoga stuff. I was disappointed that I couldn't be a monk. I was disappointed that I got sick. And I was disappointed that I had to come home. And quite frankly, I just wanted to have some worldly success. I wanted to have financial freedom. It had been a goal of mine for a really long time. So I said, with all my savings, what I'll do now is buy a house and rent it out. And that's what I did. And it was successful. It took me a good year to figure it out, but I turned a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house into a 6-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, and I rented out all the rooms. And there I was, living in my garage, in the grandmother unit that I created, with all of its private amenities and private bathroom. And I said, I made it. This is amazing. Now I don't even have to work anymore. I'm making 6 figures passively. Now I can quit my job and just go out and flirt with women and have a good time. Well, that didn't really hash out very well, because I just got rejected and rejected and rejected, and I was offended. I didn't understand why people weren't recognizing how great I am. So I had some pride, I had frustration, and I had some resentment. Remember, I didn't really have the social skills or the mentors or the swag growing up. And so it was hard for me to adapt, and plus I was so focused on myself and making money and being stable and starting this new business that I didn't really have a spiritual community. I didn't really have I didn't really have a community in general. And so I was lonely and disappointed again. And you know what happened was, in that place of being lonely and disappointed, I went to porn one more time. And this devil sucked me in, and that was the beginning of my downfall. It happened again. I couldn't believe it happened again. I got sucked back in. I felt a change in my energy. So I have all these unconscious, low-level emotions. I call it the background hum of these low-level, disappointed emotions. And then combine that with this bad habit thrown into my life, I got sick again. One thing leads to another. I get COVID, and COVID turns into long COVID, and all of a sudden my life is spiraling down, and my health is crashing, and I'm panicking, and the illness and the bad feelings are not going away, and all of a sudden I'm in a place where I can hardly even manage the house anymore, and in such a short period of time, my entire life is turned upside down, and suddenly I'm so sick I can hardly function. I have to sell the house. I'm panicking about selling the house. Selling the house is not exactly an easy thing. It has its stresses of its own. And so the worry is compounding, getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm not getting any better. Nothing that I'm trying physically is helping. And, you know, it gets worse for a good year and 3 months. It gets worse and worse and worse. And, you know, there was a pattern. Every single time my life had health crises, there was a pattern. There's a pattern of emotional distress leading to physical bad habit, leading to physical illness, and the perpetuation of that physical illness until the mental and the emotional and the moral remedy was given, and then the physical body follows in health. And so it happened again and again and again. This time, I feel like there is no hope. I just feel completely crushed, demoralized, depressed, hopeless. And I'm realizing no one's coming to save me. All these supplements are not working. All of these health foods aren't working. Every single thing that I knew about health that I was throwing at it was not helping. I felt like I was completely abandoned. I studied health for so long. I was such a healthy guy, and all of a sudden, nothing's working. I felt so confused. I felt so helpless. I didn't understand why nothing was helping. We needed the enclosed instruction book. And so even though I had a health crisis before, I didn't understand what was happening. I thought maybe I had a vaccine injury, long COVID, mold illness, chronic fatigue syndrome. I couldn't put my finger on it. I really didn't understand what was happening with my gut or my sinuses. And I really tried to not be anxious. I was reading books like How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. I was trying to control my mind as much as I could. However, I was just getting worse and worse and worse. And you know what? Maybe I did have some kind of vaccine injury because I got 2 additional vaccines to get into a massage therapy program. It was the MMR. And so maybe in this immunologically weakened state, And in this state of worry and frustration and pride, combined with the pornography viewing, the wasting of that physical energy, everything combined weakened my immune system to BAM! I get hit by long COVID. BAM! I get hit by vaccines. No wonder I had such a bad reaction. And then in the midst of that physical illness, I started having mental illness and emotional illness and social isolation, so social illness and loneliness. And so it was psychosocial spiritual illness, not just physical. And I didn't know how to deal with that. I suffered and stayed in that hellhole for way too long. It was absolutely horrendous. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I was in bed for most of the day, just trying to escape my own mind. Just pathetic. Just completely lifeless. And still addicted to porn. Still watching it to escape myself, to escape my life. Still watching it just to try to cope with the pain. Of course I needed some way to cope with the pain. I didn't have marijuana. I didn't have alcohol to go to. So porn was my escape. It was my fantasy land. It was my escape from myself. But it always made me feel empty and guilty and worse. And so I just kept on getting worse and worse and worse until I got so bad, so depressed, that I tried what I thought was everything and nothing helped, and so I was suicidal. I really contemplated it, guys. I really contemplated it. I really wanted to. I really wanted to just stop all this useless pain and suffering. I really, really wanted to do it, but I couldn't get myself to do it. Because I kept on just thinking of what would happen to the people that knew me. Even though I felt like nobody was there for me, I still felt like I couldn't do it. It would cause too much pain. I just imagined them all crying. I couldn't get myself to do it, even though I had a plan. I had a complete plan. I couldn't get myself to do it. And I kept on suffering until I actually started fixing this. And the first thing that I did to start fixing this was get some hope. I got hope in magic mushrooms. I heard about it. Maybe they can help me because they're helping other people with depression, and I knew I had depression. So I tried microdosing for 3 weeks and it helped. Helped a lot. It got me to the place where I was doing yoga again. I went to my yoga community again. We had this huge celebration to celebrate the guru. There was music and dancing and food. Well, there wasn't food. I wish there was food. And that gave me hope again. I felt alive. I actually jumped up and down like this. And I felt alive for the first time in over a year. Over a year. It was incredible. I couldn't believe that I was actually able to feel good. I thought I was broken. I thought I could not feel good. I thought it was impossible. Because it was so hard, but I felt good. Chanting and worshiping the guru. And from there, I had hope. And I slowly started to piece together a little bit more hope. I got involved in my massage program. I still struggled and suffered tremendously, until I discovered how I can use my mind to actually affect healing in my body. And so I started to take control of my habits. I started to take control of my mind. And I started to use my mind doing a particular process to heal my body. Simple yogic practices that change the state of your brain and your body through breathing, relaxation, and then you use your mind and powerful suggestions and visualizations to actually make your mind heal your body. It's kind of like the placebo effect. You know, everybody knows that your mind can affect actual physical healing. That's what they call the placebo effect. And so really what it is mind-body healing. And so I learned this. And I learned so much. I learned about the Silva method. I learned particular ways of how to use my mind and alter my subconscious mind to heal my body. And it was working. And it worked so fast, it was shocking to me. It was absolutely shocking to me. It surprised me because within 3 months of using these healing techniques, mind-body healing techniques, I was able not only to heal my body, but to start to restructure my beliefs, my cognitions, how I felt about my life, and started healing the way I thought about myself and about life in thousands of different ways. And they call this brain retraining in the chronic illness world. Brain retraining. And through it all, now I'm finally able to say I've healed my immune system, my gut, my whole body is completely alive again. It was such a fast recovery. I thought that it would take 4 times as long, but it didn't. And now that I'm actually pretty much 100%, I'm still gaining back some of my muscle because I did so much fasting. I got so thin. I got below 150 pounds, which is insane for me. What I learned along the way is that the mind and your emotions create so much stress and so much illness and so much bondage that is the reason why so many people feel like they can't change their bad habits, they cannot get themselves to do their good habits, and they feel weak, tired, fatigued, and they don't understand how to change. They've tried so many times and failed. They don't even understand why they failed. Why can't you change your bad habits? Why is it so hard? Why am I this way? Is there any hope? People start losing hope because they failed so many times. I remember being in that place. Well, we haven't been taught how to actually take control of our subconscious mind, take control of our mind, take control of our emotions, and to change these things so that we can change our habits, so that we can change our bad habits, so that we can change our health effortlessly. You know, there's so many scams in the health world that everybody's skeptical of everything. There's so many people trying to take advantage of you. That's exactly what I felt about these doctors. That's exactly what I felt about all the supplements that I was taking. Everything just seemed to be a scam. Everybody just wants to take your money. Everybody will charge you up the yin-yang even if their solution doesn't work. There's so much misinformation in the health industry. So it's easy to see why people don't trust the health industry. Everybody's selling them snake oil. And plus, when you're in this desperate position of really wanting and needing the result, you're even easier to prey on, which is even more frustrating, and it makes you even more suspicious. You have people that are trying to take advantage of you in a weakened state, in a desperate state, which is not fair. It's not fair at all. So, I understand people's misgivings, their suspicion, and their doubt. But the beautiful thing about what I'm talking about is that it's free and self-generated. It's literally just taking control of your own mind and using the power of your mind to create better cognitions, thoughts, emotions, habits, and self-control so that you can literally just change your own behavior and change your internal chemistry. So this is the source of all behavior and health. It's very simple and straightforward, and it's substantiated in many different approaches. It's substantiated in yoga, but it's also substantiated in the medical literature. If you look at what Joe Dispenza is doing, Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you look at what Deepak Chopra is doing, they've all laid out how the mind is profoundly powerful in healing your body. So that is my testimony. That is what I'm telling you today, is that you can take control of your mind and your emotions and your habits, and that is the key to your health. You don't have to be addicted to food, unhealthy food, donuts, weed, cigarettes, pornography, energy drinks, all of these vices, the tobacco, the sex, the porn, all of these are just coping mechanisms because you're trying to fill some emotional void. It's a coping mechanism. You're trying to energize yourself. You're trying to feel alive with all these things. They give you a sense of emotional well-being or energetic well-being. That's all you want, but there's a better way to get it. And it's through your own kingdom on the inside. It's through your own purity. It's through your own connection to a higher level of thinking. And with this alignment, this new alignment with healthier thoughts, healthier lifestyle, and spiritual alignment. Remember, it's psychosocial, spiritual. It's psychological. It's social, how you approach your fellow man. And it's spiritual. If you're going towards something higher, and if you're aligned morally, you see, you gain back your integrity, you gain back your community, and you gain back your mentality. And when you have all of these aligned, then your physicality becomes beautiful again and healthy again. So you can make yourself healthy again. You can revive, you can overcome, you can overcome. Just remember, you can overcome. I thought it was impossible. It's not impossible. You just keep on going. You keep on searching and you keep the hope alive, and you will come to a better place. And that's why I'm here, to bring you into a better place. That's why we're here. We're moving into a better place. Feel the hope right now. Come alive right now with hope. I command this message to land with you, because it's true. It's true that you can heal, and it's true that you can overcome, and it's true that you can fulfill something better and better and better. You have the power. You're a human being. And what it means to be a human being is that you are a powerful creator. Now, you can create negative or you can create positive. And this is the message, that we can become our own masters. You can have self-mastery, and you can create your own reality that permeates into your physicality. And suddenly, you find yourself aligned socially, spiritually, and psychologically. This is a new approach to a golden era, a new kingdom that is in you, that is completely at your disposal. Because you have access to a higher way of thinking, and you have access to a higher way of living, and you have access to be able to provide your body with what you need so that you can live abundantly, so that you can accomplish beautiful things and feel beautiful things and live like you're supposed to. It's time for me to construct this bedstand. So thanks for being with me and listening to my story. Share this video so that more people can feel the hope like the video so that we can spread the message, and join this brotherhood, this movement, this mission where we're taking a stand for real health, the real way, not the fake way that the medical industry is pushing, that the drug industry is pushing, and the fake food that you're being marketed. Enough with it. This is about reality, the real method of health, the real food, the real medicine, the real doctor right inside your own body. Right now, access it. We're brothers, and it's amazing what we can accomplish together. My name is John Van Dyne. Have a great night.